Have you ever wondered how we really know things? I mean, not just guess, but actually know for sure? Well, it turns out there's this powerful toolkit that pretty much anyone can use to solve mysteries, from why are plants are droopy to, how the universe works. Today, we're opening up that toolkit. We're talking about the scientific method.
All right, let's get into it. Here's the game plan. We're going to start by uncovering what I like to call science's secret formula. Then, we'll walk through a real investigation, step by step, from starting the case to designing a fair test, gathering all the clues, and finally, cracking the whole thing wide open.
So first up, let's talk about the blueprint itself. What is this core formula that separates actual science from, well, just superstition or guesswork? It's really all about having a reliable, repeatable way to get to the truth.
I mean, think about it for a second. We are hit with claims all day, every day. So how in the world do we know what's real and what's just someone's opinion or a wild hunch? How do we cut through all that noise? Well, the answer really boils down to this one simple but powerful idea. For a long time, a lot of what people knew was just based on what some authority figure said. So to get past that, scientists realized they needed a system, a rock-solid process for gathering actual hard evidence.
And that system, that's the scientific method. Now, the key word here, the one I really want you to focus on, is systematic. This isn't just fumbling around in the dark hoping you bump into an answer. It's a structured, step-by-step path that takes you from a question to a reliable conclusion.
And here are those steps. This is the heart of our detective's toolkit. It all kicks off with just looking at the world around you, which leads to a question, then a hypothesis, an experiment to test it, a conclusion from your evidence, and then, just as important, you take a step back and evaluate the whole process. Let's see how this actually works.
Every big discovery, every single major breakthrough in history didn't start with some crazy explosion in a lab. Nope, it started with something much quieter, a simple observation. This is where the mystery really begins.
It can be something as simple as this. You're just looking around and you notice a pattern. The plants I put in the sunlight seem way happier, way taller than the ones I stuck in that shady corner. That's it. That's your first clue.
And boom, just like that, a casual thought becomes a focused, testable question. We're not just vaguely wondering anymore. We are defining the exact mystery we want to solve. And the key is that it's something we can actually measure. We can track light and we can track growth, which makes this a fantastic scientific question.
Okay, so we've got our question. The next step is to make an educated guess about what the answer might be. And this isn't just a random shot in the dark. It's a smart prediction based on what we've already seen with our own eyes.
And check out that structure. If, then. It's so clear and so easy to test. It predicts a very specific outcome, the plant growth, based on a specific change, the amount of light. This little sentence is basically the foundation of our entire investigation.
Right, and this is so crucial. A really solid hypothesis is always grounded in what you've observed before. It's informed prediction that gives your whole experiment a clear direction and purpose.
So we have our prediction, but to see if it's actually right, we have to design a test that's fair, controlled, and can give us answers we can trust. This is where we need to talk about the key players in any experiment, the variables. And here they are, the two stars of the show. The independent variable is the one thing you change on purpose. In our plant mystery, that's the light intensity. The dependent variable is the thing you measure to see what happens. Here, it's the plant's growth. Its growth depends on the independent variable. See how that works?
But wait, to be absolutely sure that the light is the only thing causing a change in growth, everything else has to stay exactly the same. We call these our controlled variables. Think about it. If we used different soil or gave one plant more water, we'd have no idea if the plant grew because of the light or the soil or the water. It wouldn't be a fair test.
Here is a fantastic little memory trick to keep all of this straight. You change one thing, that's your independent variable. You measure one thing, that's your dependent variable, and you control everything else. CMC. Simple, but so effective.
All right, our fair test is all designed and ready to go. Now it's time to actually run the experiment and start gathering our clues. In the world of science, we call these clues data.
Now to show you how we handle this data, let's just quickly switch to a different classic experiment. How fast something dissolves in water at different temperatures.
Just like with our plants, we'd run the test and carefully record all our measurements in a table. And notice something absolutely critical here? The units, Celsius, seconds. Without those, these numbers would be totally meaningless. Now, a table full of numbers is great, but our brains aren't always great at seeing the pattern right away. This is where visuals are absolute magic. The second we plot that same data on a graph, bam, a clear pattern just jumps right out at you. You can see it instantly. The hotter the water, the faster the stuff dissolves.
Okay, we've followed the clues, we've gathered all our data, and we've spotted a pattern. It's finally time to put all the pieces together, solve this mystery, and officially crack the case.
And this is the moment of truth. A conclusion isn't just a boring summary of what happened. It has to connect all the way back to the beginning. It must directly answer our original question and state loud and clear, was our prediction right? Did the evidence actually support our hypothesis?
But hold on, the job isn't quite done yet. A great scientist, just like a great detective, always goes back and reviews their own work with a critical eye. This step, the evaluation, is what makes science so powerful because it's a self-correcting process. You have to ask the hard questions. Was my test really fair? Could my measurements have been off? How could I make this whole investigation even better next time?
And this, right here, is the really beautiful thing about it all. The scientific method isn't a straight line that just ends. It's a cycle. Every conclusion, every evaluation, it all leads to new questions, new ideas, and new experiments, with each one building on the last. That's how we learn. So, this incredible toolkit isn't just for scientists in white lab coats. It's for all of us. Which brand of coffee actually keeps you awake longer? What's the fastest route to get to work? The next time you have a question, don't just guess. Use the method. So, what mystery are you going to solve first?